Welcome everyone to another exciting series of StarCraft 2. This is from the NESPA SC2 Open that took place last November, and we're going to be going into a round 3 from the winners bracket series between Yombonski and Sdwmaster, starting on MLG's Xel'Naga Caverns. And so before we get into that, as I get this started, I should say, we'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors for the event. Last November we had this event on the UNL campus, and we were so fortunate to have the sponsors of QuickTech Computers, who provided all the machines on which we played the games, Greenfield's Pancake House, you can see both their logos down there, and definitely check out QuickTech Computers, I should mention, at quicktech.net. Also Champions Fun Center and Da Vinci's Pizza. Thanks guys for supporting esports. It's without the sponsors we would not be able to make these events happen. So a big shout out and thank you to those guys. And let's get immediately here into our game. Here on MLG Xel'Naga Caverns, in the top right we have Sdwmaster spawning as the red Zerg, and he'll be facing off against the purple Protoss, or as we like to call him, the purple Polish Protoss, Yombonski. Yombonski, of course, a student here at UNL, a part of the UNL StarCraft team for the Collegiate Star League. Very familiar with his play. Sdwmaster, I believe, came up from Kansas to play in this tournament of the fine folks of Kansas StarCraft. So a big shout out and thank you to those guys for coming up and participating in the event. This is from round 3 of the winners bracket. These are a best of 3 series, so whoever wins, I should say whoever loses this particular game will pick the map for the next game, and then we'll see who ends up taking it. Double elimination format, so the loser goes down to elimination bracket and can fight his way up through there, whereas the winner it just continues on as always. Looks like we already have a pool that's going down for Sdwmaster, pool before gas or anything like that. Looks like he's probably going to be trying to expand here soon. That's going to get blocked here by Yombonski. Yombonski just now finishing taking his gas. Looks pretty standard stuff from Yombonski. Sdwmaster going to try to chase that probe away. Pylon does go down to block the expansion, as is expected. A couple Lings will probably come out here shortly. There's the gas immediately for Sdwmaster, knowing that he needs to get that Ling speed up and deviate a little bit from what his original plan probably was. Now that pylon does get canceled, so Sdwmaster could go here and take his expansion now, and looks like he is gearing up, saving up the money to do so, but it might be just a little bit delayed. We do have cybernetics core going down, second gas pretty early for Yombonski. Will he go for a 3-gate expand? It's a little tricky taking an early expansion on this map just because of how open this natural expansion is. So I'll be curious to see what Yombonski does in response to that predicament on this map. That being said, 3-gate expand can be pretty good. You just have to be very good with your force field usage. There's the expansion down for Sdwmaster, about halfway done now. Ling's coming across the map. Interestingly enough, no Ling speed being researched right now, despite having the gas for it. I don't know if that's misstep or if he's planning on saving that gas for a quicker layer. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what he ends up doing with that. One thing I do want to mention is note that Sdwmaster being very good about poking out with these Lings, having this Overlord here in the back, so that he can sacrifice it into the main to get some good intel if he needs to. We do see 2 additional gates going down now for Yombonski. Does indeed look like it'll be that 3-gate expand. Sentry just coming out now. And note, he does have the Zealot here on hold position, so that does make a full and complete wall against those Zerglings for now. So Sdwmaster going to pull back and start droning up. He would ideally, it'd be nice if he'd leave a Ling or 2 out here in the front just so he can see when his opponent moves out, when he takes his expansion. I do not know if he actually saw that sentry or not with the little brief poke. If he did, he's probably got a good idea of what's going on, but he might want to just double check with that Overlord. In the meantime, we do see a Roach Swarm going down for Sdwmaster. Note, a lot of drones still being made. Probably needs to transfer some of those over to the natural so that he doesn't get oversaturated in his main. And if he's going to be going for these roaches, he's probably going to need to take a little bit more gas. to sustain that. In the meantime, we're going to see Yombonski continue to make a lot of sentries, probably poke out here and do a little bit of what's called shark mode, push these lings off the watchtowers, give himself a little breathing room, and secure his expansion. Seeing 2 spine crawlers go down for Sdwmaster, just wants to make sure he's absolutely safe and against any gateway aggression. Would be surprised to see anything coming out of Yombonski anytime soon. He does have his expansion down now. Sdwmaster is going to get in here and see this, and that's going to make him feel pretty comfortable knowing that he's not going to get pushed anytime soon, but he does know that he needs to get another base here quickly, or put some pressure on if he's going to stay ahead or stay even with his opponent in this game. Evolution chamber going down, lair started now. Interestingly enough, hallucination is being researched by Yombonski right now. I like that decision. He does not have a good way of getting any intel right now because he does not have an observer and a robo. So getting that hallucination will let him make a few phoenixes, but hold that for just a moment. A bunch of lings getting in here, getting pretty decent surface area, but the force fields do push a lot of them out of the way. Doesn't actually get to kill any of those sentries like you'd want to, but does force a lot of force fields to be wasted. Here goes the hallucinated phoenix I was just talking about. That allows Yombonski to get good intel. He's going to check the third immediately, as that is typically what you see Zerg do when they see their opponent expand. Do have roaches coming out right now, +1 attack, about halfway done for the Zerglings. Interestingly, +1 attack almost done for Protoss as well, which will make them 2-shot those Zerglings. So he's going to have to either, catch up in upgrades or get a lot of roaches out here if he wants to put any pressure on. Of course, Roach Hydra is a very good way to go in this matchup up until Colossi come out. And as we can see, the Robo facility, I should say, is started. Let's look real quick at the worker counts. You can see both players actually quite even right now. Sdwmaster could start to pull ahead here a bit, but he does need to get that third down. Taking down the rocks at the gold, a very wise decision. He probably wants to take these rocks down as well so he can secure that expansion. Also, and note how he's being very good about sending these overlords out across the map and getting some pretty good vision. I'm not sure why these roaches are so far forward, but it does look like Yombonski is going to move out to do some scouting again. Will he see all these units here at the gold? No, yeah, he might have just barely caught a glimpse of that. Yeah, it looks like he doubles back just a second, seeing no expansion there, and wants to double check the gold. Does see that the rocks are gone and sees the expansion go down. So he does know exactly what's going on now. Knows that his opponent is just getting on 3 base now, and he's got to be feeling pretty good about that because he's definitely even with his opponent in food and in workers, and that's actually a great thing for Protoss. Protoss units, of course, a bit stronger, a bit more efficient than Zerg units, especially that force field being able to cut the Zerg army in half. Looks like Sdwmaster just wants to check, make sure there's no third base for his opponent. It is almost the 12-minute mark, and would really like to see Sdwmaster throw down another base or a macro hatch. As I say that, though, we do have Yombonski moving out across the map. This is going to be really bad for Sdwmaster. All these roaches kind of caught out of position. He doesn't have roach speed. A couple force fields going down, keeping these roaches from retreating. He might have to cancel this hatchery as he just does not have the army to deal with this. There is the hatch cancel. And this army needs to get in position to deal with this. And here's a big engagement. Lings running up in front. All the roaches kind of getting trapped behind these force fields, but Lings do get in to do quite a bit of damage, but not enough, as they do get cleaned up quite quickly by that Protoss army. Yombonski going to move in here and see his spine crawler. One spine kind of out of position, a little far forward of the rest. And Yombonski thinks better of pushing into that fortified position. Retreats with a couple force fields to cover his retreat. Very wise decision making from Yombonski. Now at this point I feel like Yombonski wants to take a third base. He just forced the cancel on his opponent's base, and he is getting pretty saturated in his main and natural. His main getting close to being mined out. So he's going to go ahead and take these rocks down. Both players taking their rocks down so they can secure a third. And that being said, Sdwmaster needs to actually make a fourth as well, and maybe a macro hatch just to keep up in production with his opponent. We do see Mutas starting to come out now for Sdwmaster. He could get the Hive now as well, which will allow him to get Broodlords or Ultras. I'm kind of curious on this Muta transition. He is in the main and getting some pretty good intel. Ooh, great use of Contaminate to stop that blink research. Here come a few Lings to do a little poking around at the third that's going up for Yombonski. Not going to be enough to do any serious damage. Oh, and kind of miscontrolling those, and they just get taken out for free. Sdwmaster is actually falling quite behind in food, which is a terrible, terrible position to be in. Azurg still does not have roach speed either. That's actually going to be very costly in any feature engagements. And getting in with these mutas, I missed a little bit of that, pardon me. Getting in with these mutas and doing a little bit of poking around, but not really able to do a whole lot. Actually, did he kill some workers? Oh, he did? No, I guess not really. But he did get in and force some of these workers to be pulled off the mineral line. The third is just about up now for Yombonski. 2 cannons going up there as well to help defend any kind of pressure. Yeah, I just don't think that these mutas are the correct answer for Sdwmaster. No, he is getting his Hive right now, getting +2 melee attack and +1 range attack. Now the +2 melee is a little confusing just because he is not very Ling heavy. And here we go with Yombonski getting in to the third. He's going to take this third out without any units actually contesting it. And then here come a bunch of Lings getting just streamed into their deaths. This is a very, very bad situation for Sdwmaster. Several force fields getting down, and wow, just the blink forward on top of that entire army. Yombonski very confident that he can crush this right now. And you know, why not? He's +2 attack, +1 armor with +3 almost done, and just taking this army out so quickly, even taking out the spines with very little trouble. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a GG here very shortly from Sdwmaster. There's a GG. Yombonski goes up in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. We'll be back with Game 2 here in just a second. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll be right back.